Hello, collective. Happy April. I am Juanica, also known as Miss Astrology. And I just want to give you some insight just with the first 2 weeks of April, okay? I know this video is coming a little bit late in the day on April 1st, but I have to admit I've been busy, as I typically am when Mercury is retrograde because I was born under Mercury retrograde, so this energy influences me very differently, and that just leads us right into kind of the first event that is going on in April. So this video is really going to talk about just the first 2 weeks of April because there's a lot to focus on here and to take in, and it's extremely powerful energy. If you have not already watched the eclipse videos, I went through and gave insight for all 12 signs. I'll make sure that it's linked either below in the description or in the newsletter, depending on how you're getting this video. But go back and review the eclipse video. Of course, make sure you listen for your sun, your moon, and your rising. And then, of course, if you want to get to know more about your sun, moon, and rising, look into some of my courses, Cosmically Lit courses. Astrology Fundamentals is available, as well as Astrology and Relationships. And rolling out shortly will be Mercury through the signs, understanding your Mercury, which is very important because Mercury is communication, and it's really important even now with us going through our first Mercury retrograde of 2024. So visit the website cosmicallylit.com. Check out the website, what I have there anyways, courses, the newsletter, more videos, tarot, all that kind of stuff. So check me out. And anyways, let's dive in. So we start off April the 1st, April Fool's Day, which makes perfect sense with Mercury retrograde. I said it makes perfect sense because April Fool's Day is about tricking and like trying to get over, and that's very much like what Mercury would do, something that Mercury would do. However, Mercury's retrograde, so I'm glad to realize that there was really no April Fool's jokes going on right now. I had to remind my daughter that it was April Fool's today. So it's like, you know, we're all thinking about different things, and that's what retrogrades are all about. This is our first one of 2024. I do believe that for the most part, we've all been really moving forward, making progress. Even if it felt really slow, we knew we were doing some things, and now it's time to review. Some things are going to come up. We may see some results, specifically for those of us that are born with the Mercury retrograde or have a lot of energy that's impacted by the cardinal signs right now, which is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And we'll get into that a little bit more later. But we start off the month with Mercury retrograde. The shadow period has already been really strong and really bringing a lot of energy. Mercury will be retrograde for most of the month of April. And with everything going on in April, it just very much feels like a month of just kind of allowing and flowing and seeing what comes up, seeing where we need adjustments, where we need to let things go, so that we can really kind of kick off again in May. May is going to be a really good time to kick off again. April, not so much. And I know that feels very awkward and different because it's spring. It's Aries season, right? Aries is the first sign. It likes to go and take initiative. And it's spring, and there's so much energy here. But it's the type of energy that we're getting in this sign and right about now is very much for just kind of allowing and seeing what happens. And then we'll have better answers. And how they reflect, how they impact us, because it's Aries, the sign of I am. We need to be able to put ourselves first, a lot of us, and we're not quite sure how to do that yet, and we're not quite sure what that looks like, and we're reviewing the plan, and we're reviewing, you know, the agreements that we've already made, where we may have to adjust those things and may have to, you know, kind of look at things different or break some agreements even, or readjust. And so that's going to come up for us in the month of April, specifically once Venus, which is the planet of partnering, relationships, relating, harmony, balance. It's also the planet of self-value and resourcefulness and how we really feel like stable and like our resources. And Venus is going to join the sun and a retrograding Mercury and the North Node in Aries. And Venus doesn't want to be in Aries. It rules Libra, which is where we just had that full moon. And so this is going to bring up a lot of ways for us, depending on your specific chart, which is why you want to go back and watch that eclipse video, where we are really needing to lean into the balance and the sense of harmony that we're bringing or that is in our relationships. And this doesn't necessarily have to be relationships with others per se, which Venus does like others, but this could also be relationships with a resource, with something that brings value. People bring value, but for a lot of us, money brings value, right? Maybe we look too much into our body bringing value. Maybe we look too much into our knowledge bringing value instead of more looking into our compassion bringing value, or looking more into, our sense of intuition or anything like that, saving money, or maybe some of us need to invest a little bit of our money. There's an area of our lives where we are needing to balance. For a lot of us, it is time to lean into being more selfish and doing more for ourselves. I know this can seem like a really hard thing to hear, because who wants to hear the word selfish? But Aries is the sign of I am. It's all about self first, and it's all about self-care, self-nurturing, self-value. And the thing about Venus is it really does feed our sun sign. Venus is very similar in size and density and even movement to Earth, and it favors the moon in the same way Earth does. And it also kind of brings that sense of value to our sun, which is our passion, our pride, our creative force. And so we gotta feel valuable, right? We gotta feel balance and harmony. We gotta feel like we have our resources and we're stable. So we really want to lean into that Venus energy. And Mercury first is gonna have us reviewing, rethinking, reorganizing, releasing, relaxing, all of those kind of RE words. And so that we're able to allow those value systems to be re-examined and to be reconsidered and, renegotiated, and a repartnering to happen. And so this is just in the first week of April. We're already coming into this with a lot of energy, right? And the sun is already here. So this is big, but this is not even the biggest thing that we have to look forward to in April. So we have on April 8th, just a few days after Venus enters Aries. So now we have the sun in Aries, the North Node in Aries, Venus in Aries. Chiron is also in Aries, which I am loving this. Chiron is involved in this eclipse, which happens on April the 8th. So then the moon joins. And so it's like the moon and the sun are resetting in this new cycle, the new year. This is like, it's official. Yes, the sun launches the new year, but the sun and the moon connecting always starts that new cycle. So this is like that new cycle of the new year, right? Of the new astrological year. Like, it's absolutely official now with the sun and the moon also here and Mercury here, like all the personal planets. Mars joins later in the month, but still the personal planets are here. And this is a major eclipse. This series started in October of 2023, and it really started with that sense of justice, fairness, balance, harmony, all of that stuff. Pluto has actually entered as well into Aquarius, which brings both a trine to Libra and a sextile to Aries energy. So this is really about bringing transformation. And what is important to us on an individual level is that we get ourselves into position where we feel our sense of value and the relationships and the resources and the things that represent Venus, the sun, the moon. The sun is our ego, our pride, our creative expression, our inner child. The moon is our emotions, our intuitions, our habits, that innermost part of us that balances the sun and the moon. Venus supports this value system in both ways, both emotionally and passionately. And then Mercury is here to really just kind of do what you tell it to do. Mercury is such a manipulatable planet. Mercury is going to do what you need it to do, and it's relaxed right now, saying, listen, what do you need me to figure out? What do you need me to teach you to bring this sense of harmony and balance into your relationships and whatever that is in your life? And with this, we had the solar eclipse at the beginning that started this eclipse for this year just a couple weeks ago in March, and now we're having all of this energy in Aries. And I think that this is very much a time for us to really get in line with our own purpose by getting back into balance with our own sense of values, our own sense of security, getting in touch with our personal value systems, our personal resources, just the things that really matter to us and feed into us. And because there is always this balance, right? There's always this polarity, this opposition, specifically when you're dealing with eclipses. If it's not that I need to give more, it's that I need to allow myself to receive more. Okay, what is it? Are you out here someone trying to be a lone ranger and doing everything by yourself and not realizing that our biggest lessons, oftentimes our biggest assets, are our relationships with other people? Are you leaning too much on your money and you know what you think that you know in your own brain, in your own mind, instead of allowing yourself to partner with other brilliant minds and other people that know people, and using other people's monies, and getting to know other people, allowing people to get to know you and to pour into you? Or are you someone that thinks, or that gives all to your relationships, never stands up, never speaks up for yourself, that you say yes to everything? And now you're really feeling that sense. And I think that's a lot for Libra energy, that it's very much about you standing up for yourself, you not saying yes just to go with the flow, not being a people pleaser, and knowing that as long as you are doing what's best for you, that you're ultimately doing what's best for the whole. Right? And that's what all of this Aries energy is trying to teach us. The other thing that I really, really like about this is Chiron is involved. Chiron is the wounded healer. And so with that, Chiron already has a wound that it is healed from. Like, there's something that we've been working on and that we are getting in a process of healing so that we can help others to heal. And so it's like now that we are feeling more in alignment with our purpose, our personal goals, getting those right relationships in place, really advocating for ourselves, really move forward with our personal decisions, fighting for what our causes that mean the most for us, whatever that is for us. We're feeling it each individually. Go back and watch the eclipse video. Chiron is offering healing because Chiron is also in Aries, and it's in alignment with this new activation. So the sun, the moon, Mercury, the North Node, Chiron are all involved in this new I am purpose driven, I am healed, I am healing oriented, I am forward focused, I am a warrior, I am strong, I am purpose driven. That is what is being activated within us as individuals right now. Now, on a bigger level, what we want to be mindful of is that just a few days after this activation, and so it feels like maybe a lot of us are really feeling proud, right? Like we're really feeling good. We really are excited and are feeling passionate, and maybe not right away because it can take eclipses a while. They happen in these cycles, in these like 18-month cycles. So it can take them a while to really manifest, but this energy is already, I believe, activating in a lot of us. Specifically, if you have Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn placements. So placements would be any of the personal planets, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Rising, Mars, Venus, any of those personal planets, because all of these personal planets are hitting Aries this month. So if you have any of those, you're feeling activated by this. I also think that I would say Libra's probably dealing with it the most. The air signs are dealing with it, absolutely. And then fire. I think anybody that's the easiest is probably Pisces, but Pisces dealing with their own problems because they got Mars and Saturn and Pisces, and that's the other thing that's happening. So cardinal signs, you're getting it the most. But Sag and Leo, I think Sag and Leo are doing really, really well with this energy. Watch the eclipse video, and I think that Libra, Gemini, and Pisces, Aquarius, they could be going either way with this. This could be really good or this could be really difficult. They're the air signs, so the duality is there. And then Pisces, you got your own struggles. Go watch the video. But what's coming up on April 10th, right after this new activation, right after this excitement that we're starting with, really feeling in alignment with our purpose, really feeling in alignment with healing, really feeling like we're ready to figure it out. We're ready to think about this, review it, have conversations, healing conversations, really rethink, review ideas, review conversations, review information, review things about ourselves. Okay, take personal responsibility. These are coming up, but just a few days after this, Mars and Saturn will make a conjunction in the sign of Pisces. Now, here's the thing. This is not going to be easy, but this is going to have the potential to be very rewarding. And this is why. Mars and Saturn only join together, meet together in the sky every 2 years. But Mars and Saturn like each other. They're the two most difficult planets. They appreciate and understand each other. Mars has the passion and Saturn has the discipline. And when you put those two together, that's a very powerful force. And so Mars is joining up with Saturn because Mars has kind of been running wild and free for the last 2 years, really kind of wreaking havoc, if you will. And so now it's some lessons. Now there's some limitations and some boundaries and some things that we're going to come against, some hard work, some time, some effort that needs to be put into something. And it's something that we really are believing in, something that we are really having faith in because it's in the sign of Pisces. Maybe something that we've really dreamed about, depending on where Pisces is in your chart. When I talked about the eclipse videos, if you go back and watch that, I do talk about this Mars and Saturn conjunction as well. So check those out. But Mars and Saturn are like the toughest planets. This is really about redirecting our energy, redirecting our passions, redirecting like our aim overall, just like our fire, where we're going. And it really does come at a right time because we're going to really get this sense of activation and like realignment, although it's not fully go time yet. Because Mercury's still going to be retrograde. We really got some other things that are going on. It would really be good to go ahead and get Mars in Aries as well. And remembering Mars rules Aries. And so while Mars is making this activation to Saturn, it's really kind of disciplining that Aries energy, that warrior energy, that fighter energy, which is a good thing because a lot of times Mars will pick a fight for no reason. Mars will just look for something to conquer that doesn't necessarily need to be conquered. There is no fight here. And so Saturn is like reactivating that, like, okay, let's get it together. Let's get this energy, this passion back in alignment. This is good. You know, like even the Bible says that God calls the young because they're zealous. They're on fire. This is that young warrior buff, I can do this energy. And it's good. But it needs to be disciplined. It needs to be limited. It needs to have boundaries. It needs to be able to withstand. Mars is likely to burn out. But this is that, if we can pace this, if we can just make it through. And it's not going to be a long time because Mars is only going to be in Pisces for a few weeks. And then it's going to move on to Aries where it's really going to get its re-energy, its reactivation in its home sign. So when Mars is in Pisces, Mars and Saturn conjunct in Pisces, and this happens on the 10th, right after this activation. We really want to make sure that we're not, be mindful of any restlessness, be mindful of any irritation, easy to argue, frustration, a lot of passion, which can provoke arguments, specifically arguments around beliefs, your dreams. I would even be mindful not to share any of your ideas with anybody right now. Pisces is the 12th sign, and that tends to be a hidden private place. And so maybe not even sharing what you have going on or what you're thinking about doing, what you're excited about, what you're passionate about. It's kind of like somebody raining on your parade, if you will. And so there's no need to share that because then this could lead to arguments. This could lead to aggression. This could lead to you feeling like womp, womp, womp and like letting your passion sizzle towards that. And we don't want to let that happen. We want to guard this, right? Saturn is the guard. Saturn is the protector. And so let's guard whatever this passion is that we're kind of like secretly having brewing. It's maybe just simmering a little bit with it being in that water sign, but let's guard it. Let's protect it. Let's be really disciplined with this. Let's really see what unfolds and how we have to focus our energy and focus our passions. Let's see what comes up for us and in which ways we have to pivot, in which ways so that we can bring more harmony, more balance, more beauty, more value, more resources that are not only in alignment with our own purpose, but also are supportive of our healing and this new journey and this new cycle that we were all on that really has the potential to be very healing, to be just a beautiful thing. But it's going to take work. This is not going to be an easy month. We already have what it is that we're going to be working with. So don't start anything new. This is not the time for anything new. The things that we're reviewing, the things that we're going over and adjusting are going to offer enough work of their own. The things that are feeling reactivated and that we may be excited about for, in the new cycle, in the new future, those things are going to offer enough work. Those things are going to have things for us to do over the month. So relax, reorganize, rethink, re-aim, reposition yourself, like get excited, relate to what you've done for the first quarter of the year. We're going to take April as a month of like kind of refocusing and getting it together, and then we'll ramp this thing back up again when we get to May. Once we get to Taurus season, really good energy for working, really steady work, and we have some great Jupiter conjunct Uranus energy to kick off Taurus season. But I'm gonna come back and talk about that later, because I think this is enough for now. This is enough. So let's just work through these next couple of weeks of April and just be disciplined, be focused. Let's see what comes up for us. If you want to book a reading for me, my April calendar is open, cosmicallylit.com. If you are not receiving this via the newsletter, sign up for the newsletter, cosmicallylit.com. Check out my courses. I have Astrology Fundamentals and Astrology and Relationships. And later in the month of April, Mercury through the signs will be coming. I'm bringing these courses to you. I'm really excited about the things that are coming up for me. I'm really excited about the work that I put in at the beginning of the year and how that's going to manifest. And I really hope that you are too. So let me know what you think about this video, if this resonates with you, if this makes sense. And again, be sure to check out the eclipse video that I did. I'm going to link it somewhere around here. And until next time, peace.